I have to start this deep dive with a confession, and it's honestly a little embarrassing.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
So this morning, before I even got out of bed, literally before I brushed my teeth, before I even said good morning to the actual human being sleeping next to me, I checked Instagram.
Yeah.
Then I checked my email.
Yeah.
Then Twitter. And I didn't even, make a conscious decision to do it. My hand just grabbed the phone.
Well, I mean, you are definitely not the only one. The statistics on this are actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
One study found that 79% of smartphone owners check their device within 15 minutes of waking up.
79%. Okay, that makes me feel slightly less like a cyborg, but only slightly.
Oh, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Industry insiders estimate the average user checks their phone about 150 times a day. And here's the real kicker. In one survey, a third of Americans said they would rather give up sex for a year than their phone.
What? Okay, that is just wild. But, I mean, it sets the stage perfectly for what we are doing today. We are doing a deep dive into the book Hooked, How to Build Habit-Forming Products by Nir Eyal.
Exactly.
And the main takeaway I'm getting right off the bat from these sources is that my morning scrolling habit, and apparently everyone else's, isn't an accident. It's engineering.
Precisely. Eyal's whole premise is that the companies behind these apps, Facebook, Google, Amazon, Slack, they aren't just getting lucky. They're using a specific reproducible psychological framework to literally manufacture habits. They are hacking the brain's reward system.
So today, our mission is to reverse engineer that hack for you. We're going to break down Eyal's 4-step hook model.
Right.
We aren't just looking at the theory here.
Right. We want to make this practical.
Exactly. We want to break this down for creators and businesses. So if you're building a SaaS product, running a community, or just a creator making YouTube videos or a podcast, this applies to you.
And we also need to talk about the morality of it. Because when you're talking about mind manipulation and manufacturing desire, the line between good business and being a dealer gets pretty thin.
Oh, absolutely. But let's start with the core philosophy. There is this classic debate in business school. Are you building a vitamin or a painkiller?
Right. So the conventional wisdom is that you always want to build a painkiller. You want to solve an immediate, urgent problem. Like if you have a headache, you need Tylenol. You'll pay for it right now.
Yeah, but vitamins are just nice to have. You skip them for a week and you're fine. Investors always say, don't build vitamins, build painkillers.
But KL completely flips this on its head. He argues that the most successful habit-forming products actually start out as vitamins. They start as nice-to-haves. I mean, think about it. Nobody physically needed Facebook when they first signed up.
True.
It was a vitamin. But over time, through repeated use, it evolves into a painkiller.
But what pain is it curing? Like, I don't wake up in physical pain needing to see a video of a cat.
It's not physical pain. It's a psychological itch. We're talking about boredom, loneliness, uncertainty, or the fear of missing out. The product becomes the automatic scratch for that itch.
So the product moves from being something I just enjoy doing to something I literally rely on just to feel normal.
Exactly. And to pull that off, you have to land in what IL calls the habit zone. Just imagine a graph for a second. On the vertical axis, you have frequency, so how often you use it. On the horizontal, you have perceived utility, which is how useful it is.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
If the utility is incredibly high, like Amazon, you don't actually need to use it every single day to form a habit. You just know Amazon is the everything store. But if the utility per interaction is low, like a quick Google search, the frequency has to be incredibly high.
Right, because if I'm doing it 50 times a day, it just becomes muscle memory.
Exactly. To form a habit, you need to be in that zone where high frequency makes up for low utility, or high utility makes up for low frequency. If you're low on both, your startup is probably dead.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's actually unpack the model itself. The hook, it's a 4-step loop, and step 1 is the trigger. This is the spark plug.
Triggers basically come in 2 flavors, external and internal. External triggers are the obvious ones, the ding on your phone, the push notification, the email newsletter.
Or that picture of the vending machine Eyal mentions. You walk by, see a Coke logo, and suddenly you realize, hey, I'm thirsty.
Right, it's a direct call to action. But for creators and businesses, AL makes a big distinction between paid triggers like ads, which are expensive and you can't sustain them forever, and owned triggers.
Like an app icon on your home screen or an email list.
Exactly. You want to move your users from paid to owned as fast as humanly possible.
But the external trigger is really just the training wheels, isn't it? The real holy grail is the internal trigger.
Oh, totally. This is where it gets fascinating. The external trigger is just to get you in the door. The ultimate goal is to couple the product with a thought or an emotion. Ale uses the 5 whys method to explain this.
I love this example from the sources. They profile Julie, a mid-level manager. And the question is just, why does she check her email?
Right, so you ask why once. Well, to send a message. Why? It will allow her to be productive. Keep going deeper. Why does she need to be productive right now?
And eventually you get to the core emotion. She fears being out of the loop. She fears isolation.
Yes, so the product, which is email, is actually a salve for her fear. Or take Instagram. It's the cure for FOMO. Or consider Barbara, another example from the book. She sees a photo on Facebook, which is the external trigger. But eventually she associates Facebook with her underlying need for social connection.
So once that bond is formed, she doesn't even need the notification anymore. She feels lonely. She just instinctively opens Facebook.
That is powerful, right? So once the trigger fires, whether it's a ding or just a feeling of loneliness, we move right into step 2, action.
The action phase. This is the behavior you do in anticipation of a reward. And the golden rule here is simplicity. Doing must be easier than thinking.
IO brings in Dr. B.J. Fogg from Stanford here. The formula is B equals M&T. Behavior equals motivation plus ability plus trigger.
It's such a crucial formula for anyone building a product. If you want a behavior to happen, you need all three. You need the trigger, you need motivation, like the desire to do it, but most importantly, you need ability.
And ability in this context usually just means, how easy is it?
Yeah.
We often think we need to motivate users more. We think we need better copy, flashier ads. We need to sell them on the benefits. But usually the real answer is just to make it easier. Remove the friction.
Like logging in with Facebook or Google. I remember when that became a standard for SaaS products. Suddenly, I didn't have to fill out a 10-field form to sign up for a new app. I just clicked one button.
This gives it a perfect example of increasing ability. Or consider the Twitter tweet button on third-party sites. Used to be you'd have to copy a link, open Twitter, paste it, write a caption. Then they just made it one click. Boom. Friction gone. Sharing skyrockets.
It reminds me of the Google versus Bing comparison. Like, why did Google win the search war?
Habit and ease. Technically, for a while, Bing was arguably just as good for search results. But Google had the habit. Switching to Bing required a tiny bit of cognitive effort. Just a brain cycle to remember the URL or change the default setting.
And because we are cognitive misers, we're basically lazy thinkers, we just stick with what's easiest.
Exactly. So trigger leads to action. I click the button, I scroll the feed. Now comes step 3, which is the reward. But it's not just any reward.
No, this is where most people completely get it wrong. If the reward is predictable, we get bored. Eel uses the fridge light analogy. When you open the fridge, the light comes on, it's reliable, but it doesn't excite you. You don't open the fridge 100 times a day just to see the light.
Well, unless you're really hungry and hoping a piece of pizza magically appeared since the last time you checked.
Aha! Right. But that's the point. You're hoping for something different. You need a variable reward. This is straight up B.F. Skinner and his pigeons. It's the slot machine effect. The uncertainty of the reward causes a massive spike in dopamine that drives the compulsion.
And AL breaks these variable rewards down into 3 specific types: the tribe, the hunt, and the self.
Let's unpack those. Start with the tribe.
Sure. Rewards the tribe are social. We are social animals. We crave acceptance and status.
So like Facebook likes or Instagram comments.
Exactly. Or look at a community like Stack Overflow. Why do software engineers spend hours writing detailed technical answers for free?
For the reputation badges.
Right. It's the upvotes. It's the feeling of being recognized as an expert in the tribe. That is a massive behavioral driver.
Then there's rewards of the hunt.
This goes all the way back to our primal days of hunting for food. But now we hunt for information or resources. When you scroll through Twitter or a YouTube feed, most of it is kind of junk. It's mundane. But you keep scrolling because you're looking for that one gem, that one hilarious video or brilliant insight.
The scroll is literally the lever pull on the slot machine.
It really is. And finally, you have rewards of the self. This is all about mastery, competency, and consistency.
Oh, this is why I have to clear my email inbox, isn't it? That little red notification bubble drives me insane.
Yes. Clearing that bubble gives you a sense of control. Same with leveling up in a video game or completing a SaaS onboarding checklist. It satisfies a deeply personal need for completion.
Now, there's an important distinction here regarding variability that we need to hit. Finite versus infinite variability. This seems absolutely key for longevity.
It's critical. Finite variability is like watching a show like Breaking Bad or playing a game like Farmville. It's amazing, you binge it, but once you know the ending or you master the game mechanics, the thrill is gone. You don't rewatch the finale immediately. The mystery is solved.
Whereas YouTube or a podcast feed.
Infinite variability. Because the content is user-generated or constantly updating, the feed is never the same twice.
Yeah.
It's impossible to finish YouTube. If you want to build a long-term habit, you have to engineer infinite variability.
Okay, so we've been triggered, we took the action, we got our dopamine hit from the variable reward. Now comes the final step, and Yael says this is the one most companies totally miss. Step 4, investment.
This is the anti-intuitive part. Usually we just want to reduce friction, but in the investment phase, we actually ask the user to do a bit of work.
Wait, why would I want my user to do work? That sounds like it would kill conversion.
It does if you ask for it too early.
Yeah.
You have to ask after the reward, and you do it because of the IKEA effect. We inherently value things more when we put labor into them. If you build that wobbly Swedish bookshelf yourself, you love it way more than a perfect pre-assembled one just because you invested your time in it.
That is shockingly true. My nightstand is terrible, but I'm never throwing it away.
The investment phase serves two critical purposes. It stores value, and it loads the next trigger.
Let's talk about storing value first, because this is really how you lock people in.
Think about a sauce app like Mint, or even Spotify. The more financial data you enter into Mint, the better and more accurate the charts look. The more playlists you build in Spotify, the more personalized the algorithm gets. The product actually gets better the more you use it.
And the harder it is to leave. Like if I switch music services now, I lose 10 years of curation. That's a massive switching cost.
Exactly. You are locked in by your own investment. Yeah. But the loading the trigger part is even cooler. This is how you make the loop completely self-sustaining.
This is the Snapchat example from the book, right?
Yes. When you send a photo on Snapchat, that is an investment. You are creating content. But by sending it, you are implicitly inviting a reply. And that reply becomes the external trigger for you to open the app again later. You have essentially engineered your own future notification.
It creates a self-sustaining relay. You aren't waiting for the company to ping you, you're waiting for the result of your own action. Okay, so we promised to make this super practical. Let's look at how to actually apply this. Based on the source material, we've synthesized 5 loop ideas for creators and 5 strategies for businesses. Let's run through the creator loops first.
Let's do it. Number 1 is the reply loop, like Snapchat or email. Design your content or your community so that an action demands a response. Ask a question at the end of your podcast or YouTube video to drive comments. That response pulls the user back.
Nice. Number 2 is the collection loop. Think Pinterest. Give users a way to curate their own boards or lists. That investment of curation customizes their feed, which gives them better rewards of the hunt and makes them heavily invested in your platform.
Number 3 is the reputation loop, like Stack Overflow or a Discord server. Create a system where contributions earn status badges, special roles, or points. This directly taps into rewards of the trial.
Number 4, the data loop. Like LinkedIn, you know that profile is 80% complete progress bar. Encourage users to add data to increase the utility of the product for themselves.
And finally, the social loop, like Facebook or Instagram. Make tagging or sharing a form of investment. When I tag you in a photo, I'm investing in our relationship, but I'm also triggering an external notification for you to come back to the app.
I love those. Now, what about the business side? We've got 5 business strategies to pull from this. Number 1 is the smile graph.
Right, this comes from Phil Libin, the former CEO of Evernote. Usually, user retention just drops off over time. The graph goes down and to the right. But with habit-forming products, retention should dip initially and then curve back up, looking like a smile.
Because the more I use Evernote, the more notes I have in there, and the more indispensable it becomes.
Exactly. Business strategy number 2 is the 5% rule. Al suggests that if you can get just 5% of your users to become habitual fanatic users, you actually have a viable business.
Which leads right into number 3, habit path mapping.
Yes. You study that fanatical 5%. What exactly did they do? What features did they use in what order? You map their habit path, and then you redesign your onboarding to force new users down that exact same path.
So smart. Strategy 4 is leveraging high switching costs. We talked about this with Spotify. Make the user's investment store so much personal value that leaving your software feels like a huge loss.
And strategy 5 is shifting from paid to owned triggers. Stop relying on expensive Facebook ads to get users back. Get them to install the app, opt in to push notifications, or join the email list so you own the trigger.
Okay, we have to pivot here. Because everything we just described, hacking the brain, exploiting fear, engineering dopamine spikes, it sounds a little bit like mind control. Are we just building zombies here?
It's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
AI even references Night of the Living Dead in the book, the fear that tech is turning us into zombies.
Well, is it?
Look, there's a fundamental difference between a habit and an addiction. An addiction is a compulsive behavior that causes harm. A habit is just a behavior done with little conscious thought. But creators absolutely have to be careful.
To help with this, AL offers a tool called the Manipulation Matrix. It's an ethical checklist to see where you actually stand as a creator.
It's a simple 2x2 matrix. You just ask yourself 2 questions. 1, do I use this product myself? And 2, does it materially improve the user's life?
Okay, let's run through the 4 quadrants.
If you say yes to both, you use it and it helps people, you are a facilitator. But this is the sweet spot. You're scratching your own itch and you're helping others. Think of an app that helps you exercise or learn a new language.
What if I think it helps people, but I don't actually use it myself?
Then you're a peddler. There's a massive lack of authenticity there.
Mm.
Often these products fail because the creator doesn't truly understand the user's need.
Mm-hmm.
This is where a lot of corporate gamification flops happen. You're trying to force fun onto a process you don't even enjoy.
Makes sense. Okay, what if I use it, but it doesn't really improve anyone's life, like a mindless mobile game?
You're an entertainer. And that's fine. Art and games are valuable, but be careful because as an entertainer, you're on that treadmill of finite variability. You have to constantly keep churning out hits to keep people around.
And the dark side, I don't use it, and it definitely doesn't improve lives.
Then you are a dealer. This is pure exploitation. Think sketchy casinos or manipulative scams. You are extracting value, whether that's cash or attention, without giving any real value back.
That is a stark warning. And the sources specifically mention some red flags for creators to avoid becoming dealers, like what not to do.
Yes. First red flag, don't abuse relationship triggers. If your app spams a user's contact list without clear permission, that's a dealer move. It burns social capital.
And the big one, makers have a moral obligation to the addicted 1%.
Right. The people who actually can't stop. If your data shows a user is using your product to their own severe detriment, like spending their rent money on video game loot boxes or staying up for 24 hours straight, you should have systems in place to help them, not exploit them.
It's fascinating that the exact same mechanics that make us check Instagram 150 times a day can also be used to help us learn a language or save money. It's really just about how the hook is applied.
Exactly. The hook model, trigger, action, variable reward, investment is just a tool. It's a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use it to hurt someone. AL's argument is that we should be building products that fix real problems, that scratch the itch in a healthy way.
So let's wrap this up with a quick summary for everyone listening.
The hook model explains why we do what we do. Step 1, trigger. The actuator. External at first, but internal emotional associations are the ultimate goal. Step 2, action. The simplest behavior done in anticipation of a reward. Make it effortless. Step 3, variable reward. The itch scratcher. Tribe, hunt, or self. Keep it unpredictable to spike that dopamine. And step 4, investment. The bit of work that stores value and loads the next trigger, locking the user in.
And for you listening right now, here is a final provocative thought to take with you today. Pull out your phone, look at the apps on your home screen, the ones you tap without even thinking.
Ask yourself, are the people who built these apps facilitators helping you live the life you actually want? Or are they dealers just hijacking your dopamine for ad revenue?
And if you are a creator building something of your own, are you scratching your own itch?
That's really the question that matters most.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Catch you next time.
Hook model, Neuro AL, behavioral design, psychology, startups, product management, UX design, habit formation, dopamine, variable rewards, ethical design, sauce growth, community building, infinite variability triggers, user retention, manipulation matrix, Beejich fog, customer lifetime value, viral growth.
1, why you can't put your phone down and how to fix it. 2, the hook model, the blueprint behind Facebook and Google. 3, vitamins versus painkillers, building products that stick. 4, ethical manipulation, the 4 steps to habit-forming design. 5, trigger, action, reward, investment, the psychology of apps. 5, trigger, action, reward, investment. 6, are you a facilitator or dealer, the ethics of tech. 7, infinite variability, why we doom scroll. 8, how to manufacture desire, lessons from Hooked. 9, the IKEA effect in tech, why investment matters, from vitamin to painkiller, mastering the habit zone.